Keith and I are really sorry that we can't be at this celebration today. We're at a wedding in Jacksonville. I lived in Boulder the summer of 1976, and after I also did a dot tune that summer. And when I went to take my Bodhisattva vows, I saw Chogyam Trungpa, and I told him that I was going to SMC. Then after that was over, after my dot tune was over, I was in Boulder and I was at a party, and Chogyam Trungpa was the guest of honor. And I went to tell him that I was going to move to Atlanta to do Montessori training. He told me that that was a good place for me to go. It's a great training, and that while I was there, I should start a Dharma Dhatu, that it would be a big center someday. I arrived here with a boyfriend of mine, Ron Lukács, and we met up with George Lemery and Bill Pulling and a couple other people. And in our apartment on Charles Allen and 10th Street, after we advertised in Creative Loafing that we were starting a Dharma study group with Chogyam Trungpa's teachings, 14 people, including us, were there that evening. When we lived on Lenox Road, 2 emissaries were sent by Chogyam Trungpa from Boulder to live here, Nikki and Stefan Omansky. And they taught us how to teach, and they really held us to practice requirements. We did a lot of sitting and a lot of chanting and community events. We moved to a public space, 3179 Peachtree Road, below Blues Harbor, for those of you above Blues Harbor, across the street from Peachtree Road Methodist Church. The regent, Ursel Tenson,
was the first teacher in that space.
Was the first teacher in that new space, yeah.
And Alan Watts, no, not Alan Watts, who am I thinking? Allen Ginsberg.
Allen Ginsberg also was there.
That was great. Yeah, wonderful.
Keith and I got married that year when the regent came. So did Kathy and Harry Tate. Then Kara Thornley came back from 3-year retreat and said, we need to buy some land. We need to own our property. And the Songkyung encouraged us to do that. People left us money, gave us money from their retirements, and when John Probst died, he left us
over $400,000.
Yeah, close to $500,000 that we were able to build this building. We bought this piece of property with 2 houses on it. Valerie and Kara were very instrumental in steering us in the right direction and overseeing things and taking care of all the details. And even while we were building and doing fundraising and everything, the Dharma and all the classes were running. Everybody was doing everything at the same time.
Yeah, that's the history. I guess what I remember, and I'm interested in saying, is that this was an exceptional group, at least to me. I started meditating early 70s in another tradition, and then read Meditation in Action by Chogyam Trungpa, and then that seemed to change my whole direction for my life. And then the very next year, I think it was summer of 1977, I came with a friend to the house on Lenox Road that Jackie's talking about, and because there was a class, maybe a Battle of Ego or something like that was scheduled, and I had seen it on a poster, and I knew who Chogyam Trungpa was, and I came into this big 2-story house and felt very warm, and a very pretty young lady greeted me, who I later married. Impressed with, I guess, 2 things. First, the warmth of the community. They were so welcoming, and I didn't ever want to look anywhere else. And the second thing was the commitment that they had, and the amount of sitting practice that we did as a community at the beginning is very exceptional. And I think both those things are what has made this community be a success. I think that things have changed in a way. I think that we're going to continue, and that there are young, new people teaching now, and it's very inspiring, and they're very good. And I feel like they know in a way more than we did when we started, because they come into a more mature community. And so I'm very excited about how it's going to be. And how many years is it? 40 now? 40-year anniversary? Kiki!
So,
Ashe! Lagelo! Taksin! Kyundrut! Diarke!